Just a quick one, quickie, nooner. This will go up on Substack as always. Okay, so here's the graph. So the black is the S&P 500. The pink red thing is gold, and yellow is silver. I think this is going to be the official anthem of the Bruno Nooner. Just so I can hear the song every day at noon, right? You can just like tune into this. Okay. Steelers, that was clearly pass interference at the end, but you know, let's do that. Let's go there before we break into this. Okay, let me get out of the way. Okay, so that's on Bloomberg right now, and that's the S&P 500 for the last 2 or 3 years. And then you can see this incredible movement in the price of silver. Now, of all the books that and I haven't talked about it for a long time, today is the day to get on Amazon and go get the book, The Misbehavior of Markets, because what we're talking about, right, this is the misbehavior of markets. This is the WTF of markets. This is the theme today is the silver ETF WTF. Funny, huh? Exchange traded fund, what the fuck? Because officially the SLV ETF, which represents the price of gold or silver, and I think it's a JP Morgan product, is trading for $65. And in Shanghai, where you can actually make a transaction for silver and actually leave with the silver in your pocket, is at 80. Okay, so that's a pretty significant arbitrage. We'll get to that in a minute. But, you know, there's this thing with the Steelers, right? Or with the NFL in general, is like, is it rigged? Hold the thought, because that's sort of our theme today. Like, are these things rigged? So on Friday it comes out, even Elon Musk reacted to it, that on January 1, China will no longer allow any significant, jewelry. There'll be no exporting of silver out of China, and it controls about 70% of the market. I think they do the final. It's very, like aluminum, it's very, very energy intensive to purify anything because you just have to cook it. You just have to heat the shit out of it. It's very, like aluminum, it's very, very energy intensive to purify anything because you just have to cook it. You just have to heat the shit out of it until it separates out and you get 99.99% silver. You get the joke. And like rare earth metals, they control it. I saw something yesterday, I guess Deng Xiaoping in like the mid 70s looked over like all the strategic industrial capacity and everything, said, if we just take over rare earth metals, we win. And but we're doing silver today. So my dad and I spent a lot of time like following the lamb markets, like literally lamb to be sold to auction to go to a slaughterhouse. So the biggest one is in San Angelo, Texas, because that's where all the sheep are. And then so the volume's there. The highest priced one is where we go. It's in New Holland, PA, near Lancaster, PA. And there's frequently a discrepancy for obvious reasons. Down here in Texas, there's a whole bunch of lambs, and there's not a lot of people that eat them. Up here in the east, there's a whole lot of people that eat them and not a lot of lambs. Okay, so, but understand that we are talking about a $15 discrepancy between the stuff that trades in China and the stuff that trades here. Now, it takes 15 ounces of silver to make a Tomahawk missile. It takes about a pound of silver to make a missile. What time do we got here? Okay, I think we're gonna keep these to like about 8 minutes. Now, price of silver jumped 10% on Friday. Price of silver dropped about 7 or 8% this morning, where you can't get delivery of it. So we have a discrepancy in the markets that's like watching the last play of the Steeler game and go like, was it rigged or not? You have to look at this and say, let's not go through the whole way to the conspiracy that it's rigged. Let's just look at the price differentiation. Now, back to this book, Misbehavior of Markets. It is the only book you'll read, and the founder of it, the author is the founder of Fractal Mathematics, who's the mentor to the Black Swan guy. His name's Benoit Mendelbrot. And it says that when you see prices move like 10%, stock market price moving 10%, like when the stock market went down in 1987 and went down 25% and then closed down 20%, that is statistically absolutely impossible. It's like getting hit by, it's not a normal distribution of outcomes. So it would be like getting hit by lightning 4 times in the same day. Okay, it's just completely statistically impossible. Now, because of that, a lot of people throw those price movements out. That book teaches you that that's when you're supposed to pay the most attention. Okay? So if you're my age, you remember going back to 2008, and you remember these days of the stock market like moving 700 points down, and then it would close up 700 points. And people would be like, well, that's just, there's volatility. Well, that it's the thing telling you that the fucking credit crisis just started, right? So that book is the only, everybody else in finance is going to be like, well, these are statistically outliers. They're not important. This is how the world really works. Yeah, I mean, it is sort of weird that a team that's 3-12 beats a team that's going to the playoffs, and it comes down to the last play, and whatever. But ongoing in 2026, I think you have to ask yourself, if 70% of the supply of silver is going to be contained within China, one of those prices is wrong, the one in China or the one here. So this is the theme going into 2026 is basically like a big WTAF. And what I'm increasingly come to the conclusion of is everything that happens in the United States and in the West is a lie, but there's nothing you can do about it. What are you going to do about it? What am I going to do? Like drive to New York City and take all my clothes off in the middle of Times Square and scream up at the NASDAQ board and say, the price of silver is not $65. Like, what's that going to do? It doesn't do anything. And increasingly, and that's why I have this hat on, the other thing that's coming out today is they just made a new country called Somaliland. Does Somaliland really exist or not? See where I'm going with this? Some people say there is a Somaliland. The nice people that are the government of Somalia go, there's not a Somaliland. And you sort of have to live in between. Is there a Somaliland or isn't there a Somaliland? See where I'm going with this? Like, we fought the war on terror, and now Syria is run by a guy who is a member of Al-Qaeda. Weird. So let me finish by saying, yep, 12:08. We'll get this done in 10 minutes. If I'm going to do these things every day at noon, they're not going to be very long because I generally like go on and on and on through the weekend. But the moral of the story is I'm not encouraging you to speculate in the silver market, or that's not really my theme. What I'm trying to get at is, as we move into 2026, we have to live, as Rumsfeld said, in like the world of reality, which isn't reality. And increasingly, because of this, if you don't accept the reality, they're going to spray you with fentanyl piss. You see where I'm going with this? Like, this is in the police cruisers. Okay? When I go into town to go lift weights, I have to drive by a state trooper like branch. So there's like 1 out of 6 times there's a cop car right behind me, or 2 cars behind me. And they just can come up and they read your license plate. They can look into your checking account. They can look onto your social media. They can look on my posts. They can look on everything. It's very creepy. And they want you to know that. That's why there's a big eyeball looking down at you. Okay? So there's a truth that isn't the truth, but if you don't accept the truth, we're going to spray fentanyl piss on you. That's how that works. That's what we're looking as we go into 2026. So, silver's worth gold's worth like 32 trillion, silver's worth like 3.5 trillion, and Tesla, a car company going out of business, is worth more than half of all the silver in the world. Just saying. All the silver in the world will be here in 50 years, and Tesla will not. But again, these are the prices as they give them to us. If you got some shit from Amazon that you really don't like, take it back and go get the book, The Misbehavior of Markets. From Amazon that you really don't like, take it back and go get the book, The Misbehavior of Markets. And also tell me if you like these short, midday market kind of things. I might do them. And this will be our theme song. Fentanyl piss is the CEO, Alex Karp, joked. Wasn't really a joke. He didn't say this about terrorism or anything. He said, I want to make drones and put fentanyl urine in them to spray on the analysts at the companies that shorted my stock. He's a psychopath. This is on Substack for free. The silver supply is very, very, very lean. There's no more big silver mines anymore. Most silver comes as a byproduct of mining other things. It's something you can go down. It's a rabbit hole you can go down. There's very little silver left in the world. So Tommy G, DJ Tommy. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't even think you can say well, that market's wrong and that market's real. I think we live in The Shining kind of a thing, where there's always two realities. Remember the beginning of The Shining? There's this little island, and then there's the reflection of the island underneath it. Everything in America works like that now. Have a nice week. Bye. Love you.